It almost worked. I'm getting this to work. Let's go back to the other screen. Okay, I think it's working now. Okay. Okay, so we are live now. I was testing some things. Let's see if it works. Alright. Okay. Okay, now, it looks like everything's working. It wasn't really working before, but now it is. I've been kind of saying that while I was trying to get this stream up. I'm gonna wait a little bit to see if, for more people to come through before I really get started. Dark Meta came through. That's good. I was kind of talking to myself while I was getting everything together before I went completely live. Just kind of rehearsing things and whatnot. Alright. Trying to see when this started, what it was doing. Yeah, right now I'm testing some things that I did in the stream. I'm going to switch it real quick. Okay. Alright. I'm just seeing some stuff that I did. Okay. Alright. Okay, so basically, you know, we talked about, last time we talked about the Nephilim, we talked about religion, we talked about, you know, certain theories on why things are the way they are, and very good conversation, very good callers, and now I will continue and switch to the other screen and briefly talk about the ghost. See, no, the wrong one. Alright. So we have here the definition about ghosts. And ghosts, the appearance of a dead person, which is believed to appear or become manifest of the living, typically as a nebulous image. And also, basically, in my opinion, I think that they are aliens, the same thing. They're the same thing as aliens and ghosts. You know, they are both the same thing. And they do this to deceive people. pretty much. They want to, try to get people away from Christianity, or various reasons, or to scare people or cause horror to people and whatnot. That is basically what these beings do. They want to trick people. Let's see if we get some images. Hopefully the connection's working. It's funny. Yeah, so basically, paranormal activities. This is probably from some movie or something, but basically, with the ghosts, they try to, they appear. Yes, SC Wolverines. I'm going live to do it different times, because that's why I had these different. There's all these people in these different time zones that I have on my thing, and that's why I decided to do it where people, All right, SC Wolverine. Thank you for the like, and I will bring up the calls. If y'all want to call in and talk about this now, as I said, I'll do the calls in a moment. And basically, so the ghosts, and this is the Christian perspective, my perspective, the Christian perspective. Now, there are Christians that believe that ghosts are really people that are dead, they're visiting people, but I just wouldn't trust them. They don't seem to cause nothing but trouble. And I'll play a video about what some of these ghosts are doing, and let's try to fix this buddy, because he needs to help with this connection. Alright. And let's see.
Ashes in the hallway. A backpack launches itself.
Mute this for a second. And make sure the sound is going there. Okay, let's see how that goes. Well, no sound really. Alright, so make sure this is playing. Okay. It's all going through. This is a ghost sighting from a school. Wow. You see all that? Wow. You see, there's no way that, now things could be faked, and I've seen a lot of these things be faked, but this was a school in Ireland where they had these this paranormal encounter, and there's many through YouTube you could look up. And some of these things just can't be explained, and hypothetically speaking, if it's not someone pulling strings or something, this being exists in a different... In New Orleans, it's, there's a lot of paranormal and ghost activity that's talked about a lot. And some of you have asked me about this, and I take interest in it, and I want to address that directly here. And there's all kinds of ghosts, of pirates, and different people and things and stuff from slavery. Also in the South, there's a lot of ghost stories about that, and I believe it could be them. But you all could tell me your thoughts. If you think the ghosts are real, like they're real people that are coming back in a spirit, or you think they could be bad spirits, or both, I like hearing different thoughts and opinions, but I'll continue this. See if anything else happens in the video. Alright, so that's for that video. Basically, these, ghosts I've seen move a TV around, and they do all kinds of things, or people knock on a door and there's nothing there. And basically, that's what I think about the aliens. I mean, and the ghosts. And also, there are many to other topics. We're having problems with, in modern times, and there's issues with the farming and stuff in China, and that's basically, a big problem right now. With inflation and whatnot, and a lot of the farmland, a lot of the food is going to China instead of here, and a lot of the Chinese are trying to buy out farmland. So it's definitely rough. And see that article over here. There's 100 windows open. Yeah, China's buying up farmland, and so China is buying up farmland, and they believe it's a threat to national security. And I mentioned this before in another stream, but I want to bring it up again. And they testified, and it goes back and forth, and the left was concerned that people would have they would have hate against the Asians and stuff, and they're causing distractions, but that's a big problem, and that's what I've been learning. And a lot of these liberal activists try to put down the farmers and whatnot, and they don't realize that there's going to be bad things going on if all the food is gone and people don't have other alternatives. And I don't know how well the connection's working. It might be kind of looking at the screen of cats for a second. They bring world peace though, but that's just, and that is true, but maybe not for everybody. And I'll say that it definitely worked better. At night, this thing worked better. Alright. And then I'll get to some other topics if there's no callers. Alright, so, what do you think? Do you think the ghosts are aliens, or the ghosts are people that have been deceased? I'd be interested to hear your thoughts about that. And as I said, people can call, and then I'll wait a few moments to see if any of you call in, and then I will. Yeah, because also the food crisis. There's a lot of things going on with the food. You all could go and comment about that if you want, or call in about it. And okay. Yeah, and basically, I like all kinds of sports. I didn't really play them when I was younger much, but I do like them. I think baseball is a cool sport. And also, the aliens are another topic that I like to do. And have you ever seen any ghosts? Okay. Okay. Alright. So now do you think that we live in a matrix? Do you think maybe that our world was... It's kind of matrix, I don't know what you would call it, but I believe God created the world and all, and we live in his place. But, people have different interpretations. I'd be interested to see y'all's perspective of it. And, okay, I see the connection's kind of glitchy again. At night it works way better, I think. And I definitely will go. Or now the stream's catching up, I think. So just wait a moment. But yeah, so, as I said, I see the different sports and stuff. Remember at school, I kind of did some, business stuff after school. I like doing that and hanging out with my friends and talking about politics and things. But what I pretty much did when I was younger, I didn't really focus on sports that much, and I lived kind of far away. It was kind of in another area from here. And yeah, so I'm just waiting a moment because the stream, there's a delay if you're hearing this. Just seeing if you all want to come through and call in. Right. I get to some of the topics about, and I will do this again. Hello, chair. Hello. Hello, Chure. Nice to see you. Okay. Alright. Now, I'll go to the other screen. The other screen, right here. Okay. Yes. So, I just covered about the China with the farmland and how they're bringing the stuff over there and not, over here, and how there's so many crises, and there's a lot of distractions, I'll say, that they are distracting us from with other topics and things and not focusing on these topics, and that's why it's good to have self-reliance and to grow your own food and whatnot. That's good. And let's see. Yeah, and in New Orleans there's a lot of ghost stories. Or her. She was a voodoo lady. And people do rituals and stuff and summon things from there. And the city has a lot of history with this. And I don't agree with it, but it is an interesting thing to study about. Let's see. Yes. Yes, La Lurie. La Lurie. Madame La Lurie. Yeah, she had slaves, and she, didn't really, she was a serial killer. and she was eventually chased out of the city and went to Paris, or one of those places, and people have seen her ghost there, and I've talked about this in a video before. And Jean Lafitte, I went to that part of this, the Louisiana. There was this area where they had these different sightings and things. I never really saw anything, but I went into the area where this pirate was. Alright, thank you for coming. And I will do all this again at night. You know. And yes. So yes, Lafitte was this pirate, and I believe that he helped the Americans with in Jackson when the British were invading New Orleans. He was an interesting pirate, and people have seen his ghost around. As I said, I don't really know what these beings are, and I went to this hotel. There's a nice bar. I couldn't really go there in that part because I was too young, but it was a pretty cool place. And I did see this chain. It would go back and forth in the hotel room, and I thought that was kind of paranormal, but you know, who knows. But yeah, so that's basically, you know, a Hotel de Montelion. It's really cool. Yes, Marie Laveau. That lady, the witchcraft lady, she was Catholic and she was into voodoo, which voodoo is from this African witchcraft. And I don't agree with it, you know, but that's what they pretty much did. And yeah, I might do this thing tonight, again. This stream's very delayed. I'm gonna go this for a little bit. Let's see. But I'm also doing this again tonight. I'm just checking the stream. It seems, you know, it's having some issues again. And also, yeah, that's in this guy. He was a person that visited the bar, you know, and people have seen his ghost there. And yeah, so that's some interesting things about New Orleans and ghosts, and I will definitely do this again tonight. So I like how it, you know, decides not to work when, you know, during the day. And I'm just doing this to test out different things, you know, seeing when people are available, do this and that and whatnot. It's pretty interesting. Earlier to get some of these people. And okay, and here I have some baseball pictures. It's a cool sport, you know. And if you all like this stuff, you all could comment about it below. I think this is a nice American sport and football. Football is also a good sport, you know, the food crisis and whatnot. You know, because it's, as I said, it's good. Well, that's interesting. You want to. Well, that's interesting. You want to go store. That's pretty cool. Right, and Yeah, I never went on a ghost tour. I almost went on a swamp tour, but I was kind of too young. But yeah, it is an interesting, history about it. And good to grow your own food and have. Let's see. Good thing to grow. Beans are a very good plant to grow. And beans are cool. Those are good to grow. And this is a nice Hungarian house. A Halloween house. Some traditions from Europe. Yes, Amanda. Yes, I understand. That's funny. Alright, see how this works. Alright, I try to reconnect it. I was already going to do 2 different streams, but this is one of them I was going to do now. Okay, well, so as I said, we had some connection issues, and now it looks like it's working better. Alright, alright. Looks like it's caught up. So, as I said, movies. What kind of movies do you all like? There's a lot of interesting movies out, and I think it's good to see that. That's good. And also, I recently saw the Scream movie. That was very interesting. And I think there's a lot of yeah, I like horror movies too. Horror movies are pretty cool. I remember I like older horror movies, and I like the newer ones too. I think the Texas Chainsaw Massacre is interesting. I remember I watched that with my friend when I was young down the street. Okay, he fixed his phone issue. But I was going to do 2 live streams. I was going to do 2. I was already going to do 2. Now I'll see these calls come through. Is the thing working? Yes, the Scream was very good. But I will say it does have some woke things in it. There are some woke stuff in it, but it's pretty good. Like, through the horror movie side, but there's still some political stuff in it. And, let's see. I think, let's see. I'm trying to think of some other horror movies that I saw. Now, I did see the Paranormal movie, which is kind of like what we're talking about with the aliens and ghosts and stuff. That, when the things move around the room and whatnot. That was something I saw a long time ago. And I'm trying to see. I think, oh yeah, Jason, Michael Myers, those kind of movies. I've seen those. Interesting. And also, I think mystery movies and historical ones are pretty cool. And I think doing things in balance is important. And seeing. Alright. Alright. And I was going to go live twice. I know I've said this probably throughout the video, but I just want people to know that I was going to do a live stream during the day and one at night. Yeah, yeah. I'm sure it did scare your brother. Yes. Yes. The movies are very, they are very realistic. And my mom was scared of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. That one frightened her specifically. And see, I think now I actually made some little short films that I will show you all at some point. It'll either be on this platform, or another platform, but you all will definitely see it. It's something I made a long time ago, and I showed my friend who was I talked about aliens with all the time when I was younger. And I showed him, and he was like, oh, he was quite, moved by it. He was like, oh, shit. It was, I took these little things, and I made these little films on my iPod back then. And because Apple has these good things where you can make these effects and stuff. And also, I think our country's in a horror movie, and I like old TV shows. Like, I like the Twilight Zone's a good one. Yeah. That's very interesting about the apartment. And I would like if you could just put it in the chat. If you don't have to call in, but you can if you want. The lines are open. But like you could tell me in the chat exactly what you saw, like what actually happened in there. Was it just a creepy place, or did something go down in there? And Darkman, it's good to see you back. Yeah. Twilight Zone is great. And I remember, because that's when I was younger, my mom only wanted me to watch those kind of shows. And I really think it's, I like, cartoons from the different time periods. But I'm glad that I watched those old shows. And I think they talk about the aliens and whatnot, and it's important because that was around the time period the Roswell crash happened that I was telling you all about. And I'm gonna review a video, soon. I sure will. And just this time, I don't know why it's working better now, but I'm glad that things are working better now. But I was going to go both times. Let's see. Now I'm gonna check out one of these videos that one of my mods sent me. Showings. I don't know if I'm going to show this now, but let's see. Okay, I'm going to move the video over here. Let's see, put it down here. Before I do that, let's see.
And eventually, when you can't get rid of any more false, what you're left with is the truth. How much false can you find? And there's lots in history. my mind because it looked like ancient Rome in the middle of downtown Chicago.
Correct. Just I couldn't really hear the video. I didn't really know it was playing. Let's see. Before I do that, let's see. Okay, I had to reconnect it. You know, the connection was dropping off, so I had to reconnect it. Alright, Amanda, before I do that, that is scary what you saw. That's definitely scary. A black man in a brimmed hat. And the doorknobs jiggling around. Let's see. Yeah, you see, because that's the stuff I'm talking about, because a lot of people on YouTube were talking about that. I had to reconnect it. You know, how they were, how they saw that. The connection was dropping off, so I had to reconnect it. I saw videos of people, right, Amanda, filming their paranormal encounters. That is scary. Video, I might play the video on the That's definitely scary. A black man. But yeah, so going back to the other topic we were talking about, the alien. The doorknobs jiggling around. Ghost, yeah, because I've seen in my house. There you see, because that's the stuff I'm talking about. Because a lot of people on YouTube were talking about. I had to reconnect it. Yeah, I definitely how they were. And also, how they saw the connection was dropping off. So I had videos of people. Right, Amanda, filming their paranormal encounters. That is scary. I might play the video on that's definitely scary. Black man. But yeah, so going back to the other topic we were talking about, the alien. The doorknobs jiggling around. Ghost, yeah, because I've seen in my house. Yeah, you see, because the. The stuff I'm talking about, because a lot of people on YouTube were talking about. I had to reconnect it. I definitely how they were, and also, how they saw the connection was dropping off, so I yeah, because I've seen in my house. Yeah, you see, because the my funny shirt is showing. It's a nice shirt. The stuff I'm talking about, because a lot of people on YouTube were talking about. I had to reconnect it. I definitely how they were, and also, they saw the connection was dropping off, so I really. Yeah, because I've seen in my house. Yeah, you see, because the my funny shirt is showing. I'll just continue it on into the night. It's a nice shirt. I don't. But it seems like it's going. The stuff I'm talking about, because a lot of people on YouTube were talking. I had to reconnect it. I definitely know how they were, and also, they saw the connection was dropping off. So I really, yeah, because I've seen in my house. Yeah, you see, because the my funny shirt is showing. I'll just continue it on into the night. It's a nice shirt. I don't. But it seems like it's going. The stuff I'm talking about, because a lot of people on YouTube were talking. I had to reconnect it. I definitely know how they were, and also. They saw the connection was dropping off, so I really, yeah, because I've seen in my house. Yeah, you see, because the my funny shirt is showing. I'll just continue it on into the night. It's a nice shirt. I don't. But it seems like it's going. The stuff I'm talking about, because a lot of people on YouTube. Okay, I had to reconnect it. I definitely know how they were, and also, they saw the connection was dropping off, so I really. Yeah, because I've seen in my house. Yeah, you see, because the continue it on into the night. It's a nice shirt. Yeah, I don't know what that was. If something was playing in the background or not. See, because I was seeing that there was something playing. I don't know if something was or not. I don't really see anything. Let's see. here it's repeating. You know, because I was going to go live 2 times. But I don't know why it works better at night. So I'm going to do it earlier at night. Connection looks like it's working better. Because I like you all to give me the feedback, what's going on. The connection looks like it's better. It falls down again. And with the nighttime one, I want to make sure everybody more people get to see it before. But of course you all could see the replay. Okay. Okay. Right, and I'm just dealing with a little bit of the technical things, seeing how it's going. But yeah, so basically, as I was saying, talking about the aliens and the ghosts, like they're kind of the same thing. And some of you have talked in the chat that you all have seen different sightings of them. And I think that's, pretty much confirms about what I've heard about them. Okay, it's good now. Alright, good, thanks. Alright, so we talked about the sports and the, aliens and different things, and the movies and whatnot. And I like the conversations, Amanda, thank you for the conversation. And I'm going to still continue. Looks like it's still working. Still going to continue. And yeah, and I was going to go live 2 times because there's people, in different parts of the country that see this channel and they see it at 2 different times. And I'm able to do this where I could get people at both of the times. And also, if anybody wants to call in, they can. The Dark Meta want to call in. And whatnot. And also, you all could do it tonight if you wanted to. Also. Let's see. That's a good question. I think I might have seen some strange things in the sky at night. Some of them could have been drones. Or I saw this blue thing that rose up in the sky. It might have been a drone. Or it could have been an alien. And I have seen some other things in the sky that I didn't really know what they were exactly. And I definitely had dreams about the aliens. I definitely had dreams about them. And they were they weren't nice. That's one way they can infiltrate things. It's called night terrors. And alright, Dark Meta. Alright. Yes, Amanda. Yes, I'm very blessed that I have this. I remember when my friend and I, we did talk about aliens in school, and some people thought it was interesting, other people didn't. And now, it's a big thing now. Big thing now. Now I want to say, what modern TV shows do you all like to watch? Like, do you all watch modern TV or just news? I'd like to know your thoughts on that. Y'all's thoughts on that. Yeah, 'cause I learned about how to fix it when it gets kind of messed up. How I could, reshoot the trouble. And I don't really watch TV. I watch YouTube the most, but I still watch the old TV shows like The Twilight Zone and whatnot. I also like to maybe watch some funny things here and there, but as I said, it's mostly on YouTube I watch. A lot of good content, and I just went to different chat rooms all over YouTube and just got a bunch of different friends everywhere and brought them to the channel in the different places. And that basically, because in school, I lived kind of far away from the place about the sports part. But I did do some stuff when I was younger. I played soccer for a little while. I remember the Gatorade was pretty cool. And I also did stuff with, I didn't really do anything with football. I was good at football. I'm good at throwing a football and whatnot. I live kind of far away from the place and, in my region and stuff. I definitely didn't want to get myself damaged over something like that. But it's nice to watch on TV. But I would if I had to get myself damaged for something important, like in a life or death situation or something, that's fine. But I personally didn't want to get like that over a game, especially with my region. I need to be in good condition for the different people and stuff that are around, and anything that could happen. But yeah, so there's Bina. Because, when I was young, that's when I did stuff after school and I talked about the aliens to my friends and whatnot. And I also, that's basically what I did. And it was like my black friends. And I talked about the conservative stuff to them and whatnot. When I understood, I was always conservative, but I understood the different stuff more, what was going on with the different corruption in the parties. Yeah, the criminal justice stuff is pretty cool. Yeah, I like criminal justice stuff. That's nice. And also, I like that stuff too, the criminal justice stuff. I like to study that in school. That's one of the things that I like doing. And I think on YouTube I watch True Crime Daily, something like that, and I watch the different things on there. And I also, I'm trying to think. Yeah, I watched the George, not George Floyd. It was Darrell Brooks. It was some real stuff, but I know what you're talking about. The TV shows also. That stuff's cool. And I think it's good to watch different things and whatnot and learn different stuff and have a balance of knowing what's going on with the farming. And it's good to have you here, Bina. Nice you came over. So I was discussing about aliens and the ghosts, how they're basically the same thing. And I also was talking about how the ghosts and the aliens are the same thing. And I was going to talk about sports and like TV and movies and different things like that, and also the food crises and whatnot I got to before, and I could go back and get that information, because there's more people here. So yeah, I will talk about the farming for a second. That's something else. So basically, something important, and I like talking about farming and that there's a food crisis going on. I Yeah, so China is buying out the farmland, and the government is now investigating it in the House, and I believe there's a lot of corruption going on, and like for instance right here in the House panel, they were interviewing some of the people from China and some of our people here, and how there's concerns about the farmland, how they're buying out the farmland and whatnot, and that's what I was being told by some of you, and I think it's important to grow your own food, like Bina, you like to also garden too, and I think the Chinese are trying to cover it up, and a lot of the liberals were saying that there's going to be anti-Asian hate, and that's not true. They're just trying to do a straw man argument to do a distraction. So I was talking about various topics that people like to talk about, like sports and whatnot, and balancing it out with the other things that are going on as well. All right. Yeah, National Treasure is a good movie. I like National Treasure. And yeah, National Treasure is good. I remember watching that when I was younger. And basically, it's a good movie. Yet, speaking of that, for a second, about National Treasure, let's go to the thing. So, yeah, speaking of National Treasure, with Nicolas Cage, I was just talking about Ghosts in New Orleans, Vina. And this is I'll switch the screens over. This is one of the houses I think Nicolas Cage owns. This lady, this is one of the ghost sightings from New Orleans I was talking about earlier, and her name was Madame La Laurie, and she had slaves and she abused them really badly, and she was chased out of the city of New Orleans, and she went to Paris, and people have claimed to see her ghost there. So that one. And I was talking about the pirate ghosts and the ghosts in the hotels and whatnot in New Orleans because of the witchcraft. And that's a good movie, very good movie. I froze. Okay. All right. Let's see. I froze. Okay, let's see how this goes. I reconnected it. Hopefully that works better. And yeah, so hopefully that works better. And yes, you're right, Bina. So much far into the light spectrum and perspective, yes. And that's a good point. And also, I think, there's more to, I was talking before about how the aliens and the ghosts are these interdimensional beings, and they're basically the same thing, in my opinion. But people can tell me their thoughts about that. At night, we were having a really epic discussion the other night about all kinds of stuff, and I will also go live tonight as well, because there's two different groups of people, and that's why I did it at two different times. And let's see. Also, and I do believe that some things can be faked and some things are not fake. Because there are real sightings of them. And I like to go these various topics. And that's when I was planning this out. I would talk about various things. And see, I'm asking you all a question. And hopefully that works better. Yeah, it's funny. Yes, yes, indeed, I do need that. That would help. Yeah, and I was talking about yeah. I was also I was talking about sports and things. I don't know if you're interested in that, watching that stuff. Because that's other topics people like to talk about, and then like balance it out with the other serious stuff, kind of back and forth. Because a lot of our companions, talk about there's different topics about that are going on, but I want to combine both of them really. And yeah, and I think what the woke left is doing with sports. How they were getting all those people to kneel to the flag and all that wasn't really too good. And I was also talking about how all these different crises that people have had, they were causing people to have different problems, with their health and their mental health and whatnot, with the lockdowns. And I think that's part of the demoralization. Yeah, Saints fan. Well, that's good. Yes, that's a cool team. And also, the Saints. Yeah, I remember I watched football, a lot, and I still watch it. But I've been focusing on a lot of these other things I've been doing with YouTube and whatnot, and the different. And there's a website I have, like a blog, and then there is this. It's still up. It's about various things, and then there's this other one I have that's about. Well, that one's coming soon. Yeah. So basically, the Saints are cool. I wish them the best of luck. And the other teams I like to watch are pretty cool too. I used to play on my device, my gaming device, a little Game Boy. I used to play the football game and stuff. And I was talking about the food shortages, as I've talked about in ABL Live. You're right. You're right. I need to go and see if it's the cats or the raccoons, because it may be the raccoons. They use up a lot of space with the internet. But at night, all the cats are sleeping, and the dogs and the raccoons and all are sleeping. Well, the raccoons are really awake and getting food. They're not on the internet as much. But yes, the cats, yeah, it must be them. But so far, I don't see them using it. But I will get one of my my little aliens over here to investigate that. And right, so yes, the movies. A movie that I was watching. Yeah, one of the. I'll get to that in a moment, Bina. But one of the movies that I was watching a movie. I like Pirates of the Caribbean. Remember the Johnny Depp trial, and I know he was misguided about Trump, but I think it was very woke what Amber Heard was doing, and I was there with the others in the chat. And also, I think it's important to, talk about those other things as well. And Yeah, what you're talking about, the food. Yeah, that's important, because I remember when I was young, some a country guy was telling me about growing the growing corn, and that's what I'm growing now in my garden. And I, no, it's my friend that I talked about aliens with when I was younger. He wanted me to, he taught me about survival things and whatnot, and it was very important. And I'm glad that I know those things, and we're all prepared because a lot of the normies aren't. And water is also a good thing to stock up on. That's another good thing to stock up. Besides food, water is very important as well. And also, I do want to know if you all do think about the aliens and whatnot. Do you all think that they're fallen angels? That's what I think. And you all could tell me what you all think about that when you all get this part of the stream. And yeah, I remember when I was a kid, I grew the homegrown corn, and it was very sweet, as you said, Amanda. And also, Bina, you're right about the fruit trees; those are very good to grow. And I recommend if it gets cold, you put a covering over it. If it's cold hardy, that's good. Because I had a tree and it didn't do too well because it was I didn't cover it right, so I wasn't too aware of it. But I learned from my mistake about that. And yeah, and I ate some of my radishes not radishes, one of my turnips. I have to make a video of me pulling up a turnip out of the ground. And also, with the turnips, they are very good for health. And in the turnips, you could eat the leaves. And that's good to grow because, a lot of the stuff is going to China. As I said before in ABL Live in here. And there's a lot of distractions going on, but it's good to talk about movies and sports, and that's why I mentioned that. It's good to, distract with other things, but to not be, when we're not distracted, we're very informed what's going on, and I think there's nothing wrong with us talking about the various things. And also want to know, do you all think that the mental health, like, you think people's mental health was affected by COVID and the different things that are going on? Because that's another important topic, people's mental health, and people don't eat right, and then people go downhill. And also, I don't know if I think I mentioned this throughout the stream, but I'm also later tonight at some point. I'm going to go live again because there's different sets. I have different groups of people. There's people like you all that are up right now, and there's people that were kind of up later. But that's why I think it's important to, for me to have two of the streams. And I'm going to experiment with the different times. But it'll be definitely on Fridays at night. Maybe not as late as I have been going late on there. And then there'll be, Sunday. Because there's another room in the next door that I have a place I'm setting up. The connection will be better. It'll be much easier. But for now, I'm doing this, and I'm about to see what you said, Amanda. No, I mean, Amanda, I totally agree about them from other planets. I mean, me and my friend, he's doing other things right now. I haven't heard from him in like 2 years, but he's all right. Yeah, dark meta's always up. And so basically, I think that I originally thought that they were evil, working with the fallen angels, like they're, because a lot of people have bad experiences. This show that kind of comes on in the network I have late at night, they talk about, they talk about the aliens, and people had bad experiences, and people have had kids out of wedlock and whatnot with the aliens. I know that sounds weird, but they had hybrid kids that the aliens showed them that they had with them. And so basically, that there were some other species, in my opinion, I believe in God, that God made, and they turned against God, but they're more advanced than we are. That's what we originally thought, and they're from the Zeta constellations, the Greys, and the different groups. But some of the other Christian apologists were theorizing that it was probably from it could have been the fallen angels, because they were they appeared to people as gods and goddesses, and then now they appear to people as these aliens in our modern time to deceive people. And that could make sense, and they're interdimensional. They're not from a planet or from different dimensions. And some of these planets, they're from billions of years away from us. Billions, like 34 billion years. So it's impressive that they're able to come here like that, from that distance. And Cyrus is another star that the Egyptians saw the gods come from. And that they're both connected, because the sons of God were given domain over Earth after the fall of mankind. Unfortunately. So that's what it could be, both or one or the other, but I'm sure there are aliens, real like aliens out there, but I'm specifically talking about these fallen things that we're seeing in the sky and whatnot. Let's see. Exactly, Amanda. Exactly. That is very true. Yes, and it's a combination of things that will lead to people having bad health, you know, and different medicines and things, right? And I believe in natural. There's medicines, I guess, for certain situations that are good, and also I think natural supplements are good too. And I think we all agree on that here because we're self-reliant people. And also, yeah, and because I think that a lot of the food we eat has a lot of bad stuff in it. Not we eat, but other people eat, and things are okay in moderation, you know, of course. But, like, say for instance, I was learning about how stress raises cortisol. Anxiety, different thoughts you have, that could raise cortisol. That'll raise things up in your mind, and it will cause bad health. And you need a balance of the different hormones, like estrogen, testosterone need to be balanced, and men and women actually both. Men have more naturally, but in both men and women, it needs to be balanced, and various things cause you to be unbalanced. And that's what I think, and it's good that you brought I brought that up, but it's good that I agree with you, Amanda. Very good points, and I think that it's good that we're exposing these things, and also with news and stuff, when we hear these things all the time, it's good to keep up what's going on, but to not let it get to you, and that's why I like to bring up different stuff, right? All right, Extra Terra. I've never heard of that. Let's see if let's see. Let's see what that is. What is this? Let's see. Okay, that's interesting, Bina. Thank you for bringing that up. All right, and that's very interesting. And I'll go. Let's see. Let's go over here. Extraterrestrial. Okay. Yes. Yes, the extraterrestrials. Yes. Yes. And as I said, I played a video earlier, and I muted the sound. It's not nothing with the sound. It's just I want to focus on the other part of the video. Um. And all right. Okay. I hopefully fixed it. It's gonna be a little bit better. And yeah, good point, Amanda. That's a good point. I think a combination of all that is true. You know, and that's basically and I do think the government and their experience. I think that's another factor that goes and play with this. I know, Bina. I know it's pretty bad. Yeah, but in my other area, because at night it works fine. Like when I did the really late night stream, it worked fine. It didn't do this. But my other area that I'm going to do the streams on, which is next door, have to get a table, it's going to work better. It's going to be, I'll be closer to the, to the signal. Because it's just this really big area, and it's kind of far away from the signal. But it's not far away from the signal. It's a good signal. It's just, at daytime it causes, this stream is having some issues. All right. All of this is an experiment I'm doing. I want to test how it would work during the day. And because there's two different, spots. The internet works fine here, but it's for the stream part during the day, because I guess the cats are using it, but I just, silly me can't go and, I don't quite know where they are exactly. Because the other areas where they should be doing it, I don't see them. But yeah. But you could always catch the rerun of the one that I'm going to do tonight if you don't catch it. But I hopefully will do it much earlier. And yeah. So the aliens, it could be government. It can be the things from space. The people from space, and that could be true. That's probably true. Also, maybe the fallen angels, combination of different things, and also with the food crisis. That's definitely something that's interesting that we have to discuss. And I think there's so much corruption going on with with our government. We can't trust it. And I was saying, they're trying to get us be reliant on them, but it's not going to really, work out too well. We're relying on them. And a lot of my people, a lot of them, people are on the West Coast, and they are people who are doing different things. That's why I thought Sunday would be a good time to try this. But I'm testing out different things, and we have a little visitor right here. This guy that's using all the Wi-Fi right now. See, he's using all the Wi-Fi. Yes, Alice is cool. Yeah, she kind of comes at the nighttime one. Yes, yeah, she was at the, yeah, Alice is cool. Yeah, she is. And also, she'll probably come in the one tonight. And I really, that was a good stream. I was talking about the Nephilim, which was the offspring of the fallen angels and humans, and how in South America, in their religion, this god wiped out the giants with a flood, and the giants were trying to build these pyramids to reach that god, to get revenge on him, but they couldn't reach him. So that correlates with Christianity. Like what the Christian Bible says is something that the South American religion says. It confirms it. And there are giants, they said, from the Great Flood. Like I have a giant forehead. But of course, if, I'm not a Nephilim. Yes. And Also, the vampires. That's something else I could talk about. And the different things like that on the one tonight. And because the other room, there's a cat, and it's another white cat. It's like has long hair, and also get the table, and it'll be closer to the thing, and the thing will be better. But I don't know why at night. I guess all the cats are and the raccoons are sleeping. Well, the raccoons, as I said, are doing their food, and the cats are sleeping. That's what I meant to say. Right. Yes. And yeah, because the height, us with the height, we have little small amounts of it. Like everybody, all races are related to them. You know, yeah. We all have different relations to them. But now I have heard recently that there are stories that in the Middle East, in those wars they were fighting, they found the Nephilim. They found some in the mountains because they went up there during the flood. Yeah, she's hilarious. She's absolutely hilarious. And I remember when she said that. Yes. And what I remember, is that some different, people with different, yeah, they were the giants. Like I think, if you all seen It movie, the Pennywise movie, the clown, that's kind of like what those things are like. That's a Nephilim. And you see, they're not nice. And there's a whole group of people like that, and God didn't want them to override us, so he wiped them out. And then when the Spanish came and brought Christianity there, he wiped them out again with the plague. It's kind of funny. But yeah, and there is see if I could find it. There is a giant person who's like 8 feet tall, a couple of in the 50s. I was talking about, that was someone that had he took after it more. Yeah, the skeleton pictures. I could bring them up. Yeah, alright. And I remember when I was young studying about the Nephilim, they were in South America. You know, yeah, there we are. You see those things, those elongated skulls, like, as I said, I'm not one, but, I have the kind of a bigger forehead. Not like them, but, yeah. Um, the German people kind of have bigger heads, like I do. And, but, of course, different, groups of people have different head sizes, but, so basically, that's one of the skulls. And a lot of them were from South America, and they got wiped out. Like what the Bible says, like that, one of the things that King David fought with the slingshot. Yeah, and she's talking about the video, and I didn't show it yet. I want to make sure there's as many people here as possible that can, be able to see it. And basically, and I'll get to the video. And I'm also going to show the video again tonight for the nighttime people. Also, these things they're very tall. I remember the Spanish, they saw this giant, and it was like 10 feet tall. That's very big. Um, see some more. Oh, they're very intelligent. But let's see. I think I think they were intelligent, but also I think they're kind of stupid also. I think kind of like because you know they're combined with the two different the angel DNA and the human DNA, and it causes like a mutation, and it causes it to backfire, and it's like like me want banana or me want rock, and they're intelligent, but also you probably had some that weren't intelligent, and basically that's there are smart ones, yes, and there are dumb ones. It causes the because of the mutation, and if you all did see that like those It movie, do clowns freak you all out? Like, like the It movie with the giant thing. Yeah, they have like I think they remember they see they have kind of like reddish hair. I have a reddish beard. I had blonde and red hair when I was younger. Then it got darker. And but yeah, so they kind of look like that, but all different races. Have they mix with all different races. If you all heard, there's an Anglo-Saxon story called Beowulf, and it's like this Grendel's this giant thing, and he was wreaking havoc on the Danes, and that guy was Grendel was a Nephilim. Yeah, that was a Nephilim. They're very very rare. Yeah, and yeah, I'm like yeah, I am very interested, in these things. See, this is another one. One of them I was showing, and I'll probably be showing this again to the people tonight. And these cone-shaped heads that they have, and also this is what they're talking about. And yeah, the clowns don't really freak me out. Remember when I was little, I'd go to the circus and I would see them, but a lot of people are freaked out by them. And we're talking about, so that's pretty much what happened to them. And let's see, yeah, Latina, I think I'm going to show the video. Now I'm going to play this video she sent me, but I'm going to probably just have it on the sound. Now you all tell me if you all hear it. I think I'm... Yes, Bina, I've heard of that. Before I get to the video, let's see what she has to say. Yes, Bina, I was just thinking of that. Yes, because they wanted to be like those things. They're gods. They're gods. They wanted to make their heads look more like their gods. And that's why they did that, yeah, because they want to be like them. And I don't know why she deleted that message. And she's yeah, but Bina's all right. And yeah, but Bina's cool people. Let's help her out here. But yeah, thank you, Amanda, for doing that. But like you were trying, yeah, good intentions. But like Bina's cool people. But like yeah, but the African people, they did wrap their heads and make them like that. Yeah, okay, Amanda did it by mistake, because I thought she had good intentions, like she thought she was doing something, but no, Bina's cool people. She's one of our comrades here. It's alright. It's alright. I think Sonya accidentally deleted SC Wolverine, what he was saying. But I know Latina. I know. I know to pause the video. But thank you for reminding me. Thank you. Alright, yeah, Latina, I know. Thank you. Thank you. Alright, so, well, let's do it. Let's do it. Okay, so fair use. Now, you all tell me if you all hear this. Put it through this one. Okay. Alright, so, well, let's
You can never find truth. All you can do is find false, drop it and get rid of it. And eventually, when you can't get rid of any more false, what you're left with is the truth. How much false can you find? And there's lots in history. And I was looking around the internet and came across the images of the 1893 Chicago World Exposition. And it blew my mind because it looked like ancient Rome in the middle of downtown Chicago. And as I looked at it further, well, here's another one in Philadelphia. Here's another one in St. Louis.
I don't hear it on my end, but I remember before it worked. Let's see.
Exposition. And it blew my mind because it looked like ancient Rome in the middle of downtown Chicago. And as I looked at it further, well, here's another one in Philadelphia. Here's another one in St. Louis.
I don't hear it on my end, but I remember before it worked. Let's see.
Exposition. And it blew my mind because it looked like ancient Rome in the middle of downtown Chicago. And as I looked at it further, well, here's another one in Philadelphia. Here's another one in St. Louis.
I don't hear it on my end.
It's in Buffalo, in San Francisco. And then as soon as they were done,
Let's see.
Exposition. And it blew my mind because it looked like ancient Rome in the middle of downtown Chicago. And as I looked at it further, well, here's another one in Philadelphia. Here's another one in St. Louis.
I don't hear it on my end.
It's in Buffalo, in San Francisco. And then as soon as they were done,
Let's see.
Exposition. And it blew my mind because it looked like ancient Rome in the middle of downtown Chicago. And as I looked at it further, well, here's another one in Philadelphia. Here's another one in St. Louis.
I don't hear it on my end.
It's in Buffalo, in San Francisco. And then as soon as they were done,
Let's see. Let's turn that off. Okay, because I did this before and it worked, so I have to just do it before.
you can never find truth. All you can do is find false. You can never find truth.
Alright, because I'm having I played something before and I heard it. I'm trying to get it to work again, because I know you all could hear it, but I'm having... It's not really doing it on my end for some reason.
All you can do is find false.
I played something before and I heard it. I'm trying to get it to work again, because I know you all could hear it, but I'm having... It's not really doing it on my end for some reason.
All you can do is find false.
I played something before and I heard it. See if I'm trying to get it to work again, because I know you all could hear it, but I'm having... It's not really doing it.
Drop it and get rid of it, and eventually when you can't get rid of any more false, what you're left with all you can do is find how much false can you find, and there's lots in history. And I was looking around the internet.
I played something before and I heard it. Yeah, just trying to get it to... It's not playing on my end. I know you all could hear it, but I'm having... It's not really doing it.
Because it looked like ancient Rome in the middle of downtown Chicago. I was looking around, and as I looked at it further, well, here's another one.
Okay, heard it. Yeah, just trying to get it to... So, I know you all could hear it, but I'm having... Together. It's not really... doing it. Well, with Sonya, they know I'm live, but...
Because it looked like ancient Rome in the middle of downtown Chicago. I was looking around, and as I looked at it further, well, here's another one.
Okay, heard it. Yeah, just trying to get it to... So, I know you all could hear it, but I'm having... Together. It's not really... doing it. Well, with Sonya, they know I'm live. Okay. But...
Because it looked like ancient Rome in the middle of downtown Chicago. I was looking around, and as I looked at it further, well, here's another one.
Okay, heard it. Yeah, just trying to get it to... Yeah, the video, I might show that one tonight. See if there's something with my headphones that might be wrong with them. You know, something about... Because I played a video here before. And it worked fine. I could hear it and you all could hear it. But something... I have to see exactly what's going on, because it could be the headphones could be glitching out a little bit. Yeah, but so... and you all could catch the rerun of that if you all don't see it tonight. But as I was saying, another type of alien is called the Greys. Another alien's called the Greys. And also, I'll show you all here. Yeah, so these are one of the aliens that I was talking about, and these things are one of the bad ones that I know about, and people have had bad experiences with them. And I think the Greys are messing with the stream for a second, because I was trying to I kept replaying the things I couldn't hear through the headphones. and it could just be these things. It may not be, because as I said, I did it before. But yeah, so the Greys are these aliens, and they work under the lizard aliens, which you've heard about before. That is one of the things I've heard about, and I believe that, in my opinion, these ones are from the fallen angels. You know, and their disguise is this. And as I said, the one at night, it'll be more detail to it. Let's see, because I remember when you know, I had callers and stuff in it. You know, I could hear everything perfectly fine. I guess everything works better at night. Alright. Yes, definitely spooky eyes. Yes, and you see in the auras these things give off, they give off really dark energy, and that's why they're real creepy. And, you know, you all could, you know, because you all will see the replay of this. And see, another one. The mine for gold. See. So, they've been experimented on, and they've had amnesia, bad memory issues, and they were traumatized for life, and that they did operations on people without anesthesia, and they're real creeped out, and they're barbaric, and people always had some kind of bad experience when they saw them. Okay. Hopefully it's rebooting now. It should be working now. Alright, so that should be better. And for some reason, you know, because the people from the nighttime one will see it, and you all could, you know, catch the rerun if you all want to. And yes, now I will let you know that, Amanda, that when I will try to go, I'll try to do it earlier than usual when I did it, but if you don't see, you know, if you're not able to see the stream, you could just catch it in the morning, and the next time when I do the live during the daytime, I will definitely have the, I'll be in the other area where the connection's better. Right, and also, okay, now, yeah, so basically the aliens, yeah, a lot of people had, right, right, and I will play a video tonight, and I've had, as I said, I had my thing, I've got everything to work right, and I played a video Latina sent me, and there's for various reasons it's causing problems. But this was around the and I will talk more about these topics, tonight and in the next one. You know, and I need to probably get some more Wi-Fi boosters because there's actually a Wi-Fi booster. So, I'm with my family, as I told you all, and it's kind of a big area, and we have these little Wi-Fi boosters, and I think I need more Wi-Fi boosters. And it was around the time I kind of wanted to end it anyway. But basically, as I said, just to recap, that I think that the fallen angels. Yeah, I don't really know. It'll be like around before midnight my time, something like that. Hopefully, or around midnight. Hopefully, it'll be more, at least a little sooner than that. I'm not really too sure, because I have to get to schedule everything out correctly. To make sure I could, when these things can be done. But yeah, it'll be around before midnight, or around midnight. It depends. And sometimes the streams have some issues when I bring them up. And we got Norman here. And hey, Norm, we were just talking about. I was talking about the aliens being fallen angels, well, the ghosts, how about that, and the fallen angels and the aliens, and also the aliens and the ghosts. I was talking about sports and movies and different things and TV shows and mental health and a variety of different topics. That's what I was talking about. And yeah, shout out to Norm. Glad he came around. And I'm also going live tonight again, Norm, where you could call in tonight. Yeah, and that's cool, Norm. You've been researching it. That's good. I'm glad you have. I'll be interested to see what you have to say about it. And also, I think, how COVID and whatnot caused these different crises to happen. For people that have mental crises and whatnot. And you see, I do 2 different streams because there are people in different coasts and different parts of the country, and they do things at different times, and it's easier to get everybody together at 2 different streams. Well, that's good. That's good. Because it's a lot of, information out there about it, and, there's different theories. Like, some people believe they're from other planets. Some people believe that they're from the fallen angels because they're interdimensional or something like that. And that's why I was playing the video earlier about the ghosts, how they move stuff around. That's basically various different things. And if you all could find different species of aliens I didn't mention, that would be pretty cool for you all to research if there are different species that I didn't mention. And because there's a lot of these videos going around the internet where people, tables and chairs and things move around. And I think those are very interesting factors, that the both of the aliens and ghosts are both from the supernatural sources. Yeah, 8 p.m. is a good time. That's a good time to think about. Yes. kind of like what ABL does. And also, you know, and I will also go later into the night too, because there's also what night owls also, but 8 p.m. is a good time. Yeah, yeah, it's nice staying home alone. Yeah, it's nice. You know, a lot of people like, you know, some people want to be around other people. Some people like being home alone. Yeah, because I don't like being around a lot of people. I was just talking with the Anunnaki, Norm. I was just talking about that. And I think that, you know, it was rough for you, Bina. Yeah. Yeah, I can imagine. And Norm, I would like to also, when I do the calls tonight at some point, I would like to know, um, you know, what you learned, and you could tell everybody what you learned, and we could talk about it. Because I think, you know, it's good to have a teamwork. You know, that we're, you know, all a team, and we can work together on these things. And that's what I think is very important, that this thing doesn't get created, you know, by one person. It gets created by a team of people. You know, I'm really thankful for that you all came. I know the connection could be better. I don't know why it works really much better late at night, but as I said, the other area that I have, it's going to be better. You know, I just want to test how it would go during the day. I want to see how this would work, and I'll also, you know, you all could recapture see the reruns if you all don't get to see it, and whatnot. Because I'll try various things. Yes, lots of Karens. Yes. Yeah, there's a lot of those out there. I'm sure that you have dealt with your fair share of Karens. Yes, yes, that does make sense, Bina. That definitely makes sense that there's some kind of connection with that, with those giants. You see, this is the Anunnaki. You know, they came here and they want us to mine for gold. And, you know, and let's see what else he says. I was the Yellow Emperor. About the Yellow Emperor. Yes, that's very interesting history. Also, I like that too. You know, it could be a combination of things, because this does take up a lot of, you know, stuff to it. And yeah, and also being, I was talking about, you know, how the you know, these things. There's a motorcycle. Okay, hopefully it should be working now. It should coming together, but it's not. Right, and yes, I think it had to do with their planet needed gold for something. That's what I learned. That their planet needed gold. It was because of gold. Alright, now, let's see. Yes. Alright, I'll probably end it. Let's see. Alright, I don't know what it's doing exactly. Looks like it's going a little bit better. Alright, I think I'm going to end it. But I thank every single one of you for coming through. Okay, it's good now? Okay. Yeah, because before, it wasn't really working right. Yeah, because, I don't know why. Because I said I'm very far away from the Wi-Fi area. That would work. That would probably work. I would have to run a giant wire from that house to this house. Right, but as I said, I'm gonna take it down and go live later. The connection's working. That's good. Um, and this was a really great stream. Next time is just I have to get in the area that's closer to the Wi-Fi. It's funny, Norm. Yeah, but I never knew that about the cathedrals. I think that's very interesting, and that makes perfect sense. And also, I think that because it's good for electricity, and those could be reasons why the aliens wanted the gold. Those are some good observations. Yes. You see, I got one of those in my spaceship, Norm. As I said, I want to end it. It's been going on long enough. Thank you all for coming.